yes, we live here from LA. It's the BET Media Room. BET Awards going down this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That is 5 on the West. Mina SayWhat. Akon is here, who I feel like I've known my whole life, because Akon and Young Jesus, that was my song. But bigger than that, when you said, headed up to Summit up in Union City, that's where I'm from. That's where I grew up. Yes.
And you've been standing behind me the whole time.
The whole time, bro. I lived on 11th Street by the Chinese store in Summit up in Union City, bro.
That is crazy.
And I had never heard nobody shout my city out until you dropped that song.
Yeah, that was our stomping ground for a long time.
Yes. You lived in Union City. I think you live in Jersey City, New Jersey
I
as
was based
well.
in Jersey City, yep.
So, yo, I feel like I've always had that connection for so long.
Nah, yeah, we connected.
For real. And then a shout out to Infrared from Shade 45. He mentioned Block Royal, and it just took me back.
Took you back.
Took me back to that moment.
Woo.
Man, so Akon, you are a legend and a leader and an icon. And I want to talk to you about what you're doing with this 20-year anniversary project, because you just said you're releasing it again.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Re-releasing it, remastering it. Man, and we're actually releasing a ghetto video that was never released before.
Really?
Yep. So after we released the Trouble album in October, I'm coming with a brand new album called Not Guilty.
Wow. And I had to look up the track list because Bonanza.
Right.
And
Ghetto. Bonanza just popped 2 years ago.
And then it was on social media again. Yeah. Then Ghetto. Then Locked Up, of course.
Right.
I mean, there's so many on here.
Man.
Lonely.
Right.
Yo, there was like hit after hit after hit you was putting on for Africa. And the African music scene has grown so much.
Yep.
Right, with Afrobeats expanding. As someone who was like one of the forefront leaders in that, how do you feel about what's going on with the music from Africa right now?
Nah, man, it's amazing. Because I remember back in 2009 when I signed WizKid, we was trying to break them out here, and they thought at the time it was music, it was reggae music. So the distinction between, and I can understand it because the West Indians are African too,
right?
And it's very, very similar, but there was just a slight rhythm, conflict that people couldn't really detect. So they thought actually it was reggae. So it was a really hard sell at that time, and then slowly but surely when it broke out in the UK, it just slowly spread it all over the world.
And you're one of the people that led that, represent for African artists. And,
that's what's up.
And you were the leader. And then you were running for president, right?
No, my country wanted me to run for president.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, but I felt I was too young. I had too much more living. I had more living to do before running for president.
So there's no political aspirations for you?
My political aspirations is more from an influence, ambassador. You know what I mean? I prefer to be an advisor to presidents versus being one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that says a lot about you, though, that your people want you to represent them. And you've been doing a lot with like building infrastructures in Africa. And that's why I said you're a leader and an icon. Because outside of these classic records that you've done and albums that you've put out and representing for Africa, you've also doing that.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
What are your goals at this point in your life?
Well, I mean, now it's all about legacy building for me. Breaking new kids, breaking my kids, my actual kids, my kids.
Your kids do music?
What?
Tell me, please.
Oh my goodness. So Javor is he's like my twin. So if you like me, he's me on steroids. Whole nother level.
Wow.
Right? Then you got Boy Pretty, which is Mo. He's my second eldest. And he's on some Prince, Michael Jackson vibe.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Then I got Aliana, who's like the female version of me. Like if me and Rihanna would have had baby, that would have been her. You know?
I love that.
And then you got Journey. She's like dark skinned, super, super pretty. It's another one, my second oldest daughter. And she's more laid back. Like she's more alternative rock, but it's just on some, you gotta just hear it. I can't even. And then Ali's like my oldest son, but he's the producer. He's the one that produces all the tracks.
So are you like a dadager? Like, do you put a lot of pressure on them?
Actually, I'm totally opposite because I would punish them by taking the studio away from them.
And that's smart.
If you ain't do good in school, you couldn't be in the studio.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, I told them that the studio was not allowed unless they was being rewarded. So it made them go even harder because when I was out of town, they would all sneak into the studio. But they didn't know that I would leave the studio unlocked purposely.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because kids, it's like reverse psychology. They do what you tell them not to do.
Right.
If I said, don't touch that studio till I get back, You leave the door open. By the time you get back, they don't
Did
touch
it
the studio.
3 songs, 5 songs, right?
30, 40. You know?
I love that.
You know what I mean? Then I got Amira who's dropping. She just dropped her album. EP out on Friday, and she's killing international. Already at 5 million streams in less than 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, Amira's killing it.
How many kids you got?
I got 9 altogether.
So, and how many of them do music?
7.
Wow, look at that. The legacy continues.
Absolutely.
Akon, it is a pleasure. We both grew up in Summit and Union City.
You already know.
Okay.
Summit and Union City.
Trouble, the 20th anniversary re-release is coming out on when?
Ooh. Hey, what was the date again, Nick? What was the date for the re-release?
It's in 2 weeks.
I know, but get the exact date. We'll give it to you before the end. But just start checking. That was on me. I was supposed to know that.
It's okay. I'm good like that.
Right.
I want to know
I'm
dates.
bad with
I want to
numbers.
know features.
I'm so bad
How
with
are you
numbers.
changing it?
Huh?
Are you changing it? Like, how are you tweaking?
So the re-release is the exact album. The re-release.
Right.
Then I'm doing a remix version of the album. And it's
With artists from today?
I can't tell you.
Oh,
I want to
okay.
surprise y'all.
Okay.
Right? And then after that, I'm coming with my album.
Ooh.
The new album, which is
Ooh.
Not Guilty. So it's about to go stupid. And
You
it's
went from
August,
locked up to
August
not
16th,
guilty.
right?
Love it.
So August 16th is when the re-release is coming out, and then everything gonna follow after that.
Love it. Akon, the icon, is here. Mina
Right.
SayWhat here on the Heat
appreciate it.
SiriusXM. We out here, BET Media Room.
You know it.
Thank you, sir.
Nah, thank you.